Hi guys, welcome back. My name's Simon O'Brien and this is Opportunity, finding an awesome opportunity. And let me just reiterate, your timing couldn't be more perfect to actually get an amazing deal. I've been saying for years, the coffee market's saturated, it's tough, it's competitive. If you're going to do this, you need an amazing opportunity and they're few and far between. So we've been really good at just finding those really niche markets, those captive audiences of customers, those opportunities where we can capitalize on things like cheap rent, little competition, lots of customers. Right now, there is so much opportunity, okay? And it's all been brought about by the pandemic, okay? The fact is there are businesses on their knees. They've been completely deserted. The owners are walking away. Now, again, my heart goes out to these people. They're going to wear the highest cost personally because of the situation. But it doesn't change the fact that there are opportunities out there to be taken. And if you don't take them, they will either the business will not get back up, or someone else will come along and take that opportunity. So right now, you should not be investing a lot of money into startups. Okay, so as I put this course together, it's April 2020, and the market is on its knees. So we're in the darkest hour. It's only going to improve and the situation will change, but while things are at their worst is the best time to be negotiating a deal. So I want to show you how to do that so you don't become another statistic and put yourself into a world of pain, but you're in a position where you can capitalize with very low risk. So here's an example. A client of ours inside the Kickstart Workshop program, where we actually help them, we support them through it on a more one-on-one personal basis. He signed a deal last week, and it's subject to all conditions around the coronavirus being lifted. So this lease will only be initiated once that happens, okay? He can still go in and he can prepare his shop and he can do all those things, but he won't be liable for any rent until conditions lift. So that protects him. But what he's done is he's used this opportune time to negotiate hard, and he's in a business there, subject to these conditions, that was producing before the economic fall. This business was producing between $40,000 and $50,000 a week. Okay, now he's gone in and he's made an offer. He'll take over the lease. He'll give the former owners $50,000 for all their shop fit, for all their equipment, for everything, which is an amazing deal. And he'll take over that business and give them an out. So what we've done is then we've gone to the landlord and we've said, okay, well, we'll take this lease on, but you've got to help us out. You've got to make it attractive because of the market. It's unpredictable. And so the landlord's been only too willing to renegotiate the lease as well. And so everything is in the favor of the buyer, of the actual client who's making decisions on a basis that I'm explaining right now. So just keep that in mind. It is a buyer's market. There are opportunities everywhere, and you should not be investing a lot of money in startups right now. What you should be doing is cutting deals and getting ready for the bounce back, because the economy is going to bounce back hard. And those that are prepared and that have negotiated in the darkest hour will be the ones to rise up and to shine and to really hit the ground running once conditions are lifted and the economy takes a a sudden and a dramatic turn in a positive fashion. So let's talk about the types of opportunities that are out there right now. Okay, there's three main types of opportunities that you need to be aware of. They are businesses for sale. Again, I would not be paying much, all right? I suggest definitely no more than 150, and it look preferably under even 50 grand right now for businesses for sale, because of the fact that the business is not where it was, and so you don't want to put yourself in a position that you're likely to regret. So businesses for sale, you need to still look at them. You need to look for them. You need to go to places like Australia. You know, you've got Gumtree, and you've got commercial real estate and business for sale, and some of the companies in your local area, whether that's Melbourne, Sydney, or wherever. And the same for the United States. You need to go to places like Craigslist or some of those bigger commercial real estate sites, and you need to look at businesses for sale. You need to get in front of brokers, and you need to explain your situation and tell them, yes, you're looking for an opportunity, but you're not silly. You know, there's no way in the world you're going to be paying big money for any business under these current conditions. But what you are prepared to do is cut a deal and take on a business subject to some conditions being met. And people get it, brokers get it. Okay, they will understand. They will say, okay, well, there's an astute buyer. There's a guy who's buying in the doom. He's looking for an opportunity. And they will know of deals where people have walked away. They will know of situations where owners have said, I don't care, just go and get me an offer on this business because I want out. And so they're the ones those brokers are the ones you need to be talking to. The second type of opportunity are greenfield locations. So this is a brand new space. A greenfield site is a space in a shop or a kiosk or something like that it doesn't exist. Okay, it's just a space. And you've got to sign a lease and work out the terms, and you've got to come in and have something built to suit your business. So that's a greenfield location. Again, right now, I'm not really in favor of these kind of deals, because why would you invest the money to start something brand new when there is just so much available that's already been established, that has a track record, and that will bounce back quickly? And if you can pick that up for a bargain price, then it doesn't make sense to me to start a brand new business right now. And then this is where the real opportunity lies, and that's in businesses that are going for free, that you just need to deal with the landlord. You need to go in and you need to take over the lease subject to conditions. And again, you need to make sure that when you negotiate terms, you make it clear that you will only take on this lease subject to conditions being lifted around the coronavirus. And then what you need to do is not stop there, but make sure that you are comfortable with the rent. The rent might have been fine 3 months ago for that business. Chances are it was probably still too high 3 months ago. But definitely now is the opportunity to renegotiate the terms around that lease and to get that rent down. And remember, what I want to see as far as a premium for rent, no more than $1,000 a week, or 10% of the gross earnings. So you can't always trust what the landlord says. If they say, oh, the business was doing 30 grand a week, well, where's the proof to that? Okay, you need to go with your gut and say, okay, well, to me, this rent should be here, and be firm with that. So negotiation is an art and a science, and you cannot fall head over heels for an opportunity and let the landlord know that you are so attracted to the opportunity that you will not walk away, because they will exploit you to the maximum. You need to make sure that they understand that, look, you're you're prepared to walk. If you don't get what you want, you will walk. And once they realize that, well, then you're coming from a stronger position. All right, so just a few more rules that I like to incorporate that you need to know about when it comes to negotiating leases. And it's typical that we'll get one of 3 of these conditions met, sometimes 2 or 3 if we're really fortunate, okay? And so you need to usually start with the rent-free period. Remember, your first objective is to get the rent down as low as you can. Your second objective is to get an incentive. So this is how you need to negotiate the incentives. 1, the rent-free period. Request up to a 6-month rent-free period. If you're really bold, you can go for 12. Start at 12. Request a 12-month rent-free period. And then they'll probably meet you somewhere down around 6 months, maybe even 3 months. But, if you don't start with 12, you might end up with practically nothing. So rent-free periods are valuable. Okay, if they can't give you a rent-free period, well, what about a cash incentive? So the rule of thumb for how much you should expect from a cash incentive is this: it's half of the first year's base rent. So if the first year's base rent is $30,000, then you should expect a cash incentive of $15,000. And that's how you know. Okay, and then if they can't give you a rent-free period, they can't give you a cash incentive, what about a free fit out? You pay for the cost of my shop fit, okay? And I'll be happy with that. So remember, you need to get the rent as low as you can. Then you need to work on getting one of these incentives, whether it's a rent-free period, a cash incentive, or a free fit out. Finally, and this is important, when you sign the lease, you want to put it in the company name. You don't want to have your personal assets, your home, at risk. So sometimes they will be not be negotiable on this point, but you need to stick to your guns and do everything you can to not put your assets at risk. Now, to do that, you simply, when you put your name on the lease, okay, you don't put your name, Simon O'Brien. You put your company name, okay, Coffee Enterprises Proprietary Limited, or whatever is your legal entity. You put that up the top, okay? And then as director, you can sign your name. Don't print it, just sign your name. And that way, worst comes to worst, this business falls over, you haven't put your assets at risk, unless, of course, they've got you to sign personal guarantees. So you want to be careful of that. What we do with our clients is we negotiate hard, we get the very best terms, and then we put it in the name of their company so that at the worst, they lose their company, but they don't lose their assets. Okay, so you make sure that you get those negotiations done properly, put it in the name of your legal entity, and then you'll give yourself every chance. Should worst come to worst and the business does go sour, well, then at least you haven't risked your personal assets. That's about it for opportunity. So just to recap, we've talked about your vision, your why, what it is about you that's different. Okay, that's the first step. Your second step was your business model. What type of coffee format you'll be going into and the economics around that, so you know how to negotiate. Step 3 was opportunity, which we've just covered now, and how to spot a good opportunity, okay, and how to negotiate and secure that opportunity. Now that leaves the business plan, which we're going to work on next, but you will not need to start the business plan until you have an opportunity at least halfway there. So you need to have an opportunity before you can really fill out the business plan, or you're not going to know what type of business to put in. You're not going to know you're not going to know all the information that you need to fill out the business plan. And then finally, after step 4 will be step 5, launch. And we're going to discuss ways that you can leverage existing services like the roasters and the stock suppliers and people like that who can help you, and you can leverage their services and existing help to make sure that you get value from their services and that you can really hit the ground running. So again, opportunity is really around just being aware of what's in your area. If you know of cafes that have closed, don't go to the cafe owner and negotiate. Go to the landlord. Ask them what's happening with this cafe, okay? And you're much more likely to cut out the middleman and get straight to the point. And if you need to cut a new deal with the landlord and take over the lease, well then that's really going to be one of your strongest avenues to securing a good and solid opportunity that you can capitalize on over time and sell potentially for many times more than you've invested into this business. And that's a wrap on opportunity. I'll see you guys in pillar 4. Okay, you can come into pillar 4 and start playing around with the business plan, but bear in mind, if you don't have an opportunity yet, you need to get one so that you can bring it into step 4 or pillar 4 and start preparing that business plan with me, which is a really easy process. It's not going to take a great deal of time. But this one here, step 3, opportunity is going to be where you spend most of your time. And some of you might have opportunities already, okay, but you just need to put it into a business plan to convince landlords and lenders and maybe partners that you know what you're doing. And we can certainly do that together. So see you guys soon, and let's work on opportunity for now.